And continue working on this for the virtual students. And last time what we did was we had a set up to where if we moved forward, we would just continue driving forward. And then I think if we kind of put this stop driving in here, it kind of just like inches forward. It kind of goes like jump, 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 and then continues to move forward and then stops if it actually reaches a certain area. Kind of like this. I'll let this load up the playground for a second. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add a little bit extra to it because I don't want this object to just continue to like stare at the wall once it reaches that point. I would really, really like for this thing to kind of wander around the field and see if it can actually pick up these particular pieces in order to be able to place them back in their respective locations. So if you have it set up like this, it's just going to like run up against the wall and then stop. So we're going to add a little bit of something to this. We're going to say, all right, if we are going to be moving this direction, then let's go ahead and add in a turn right for 90 degrees. And if we set it up to where it goes through the entire process and then it turns right, it's going to drive and it just kind of scoots along, drive, 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 drive. I like putting the stop in there because it lets you actually see with the lines that it's actually doing this set of code over and over and over again. Now it's going to move up to the top one and it's going to say, okay, turn right, and then it's going to do it again, turn right. But then something's going to happen. You're going to realize that there's going to be a little bit of a problem here because if I program this thing to just turn right and it's going to just continue to turn right every single time, then it's just going to go in a circle. So, and watch what happens. Get ready. It's going to go down here. It says, okay, boss, turn right. And then it turns right again over and over. So I think you guys can see that once it makes that full loop, that it's just going to do that again and again. We're going to have to change something around in order to make this thing actually turn left and even have a chance of moving around to the other side of the field in order to even pick up these objects. So we're going to add a little bit more to this. So we need to add the ability for this thing to either turn right or turn left. So I'm going to use a if statement, and in fact, I might actually use two if statements. I'm going to just grab this, and we're going to play around here for a second. So let's do the, how about if then? So I'm going to add this, and I want it to be, let's see here. Let's add the, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm not very good at block code, if you can't tell. We're going to put the stop driving here and the turn right, and both of those go inside this if statement. And we're probably going to have to take this and do it again on the other side as well down here too. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to add in a operator and we're going to say that, all right, we're going to add in this check condition. I'm going to put in if something is less than 50. Well, I'm going to just go ahead and change that number to 10. And then I'm going to put in there, pick a random number from 1 to 10. And it should just click into place here. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if we say that if we want the number to be, pick a number from 1 to 10, and if it's greater than 10, well, that's never going to happen. So we're going to have to change this around a little bit. So I want it to turn right if it's on 1 through 5, and I want it to turn left on if it's the other way around. You know what? Now that I say that, that would have been really great for an if-else statement. So I wonder if I can actually like replace this with an if-else. I don't know if I can. Let me see. I'm gonna have to drag all of this stuff out in order to switch it around. Because if I want it to do the other thing, I don't have to put in another if statement. I can just say if else. That would make more sense. Let's try that. So I'm going to move this back in here. And then I'm going to move the other thing back in here. Let's move our condition back in. And I got to get it to snap into place. And I'm going to put our random back in. And this is one of the reasons why I am not a super fan of block code. Let's see if I can actually get it to, oh, there it is. Okay, so we're going to pick a number between 1 and 10, and we're going to say if that number is greater than 5, so that'd be 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. So I'm going to say greater than 5. Then if that number is greater than 5, then stop driving and then turn to the right. If it's not greater than 10, if that random number is not greater than 10, then what we're going to do is we're going to stop driving and we're going to turn left. I don't think we can copy and paste, so I'm going to just go ahead and click stop driving, and then we're going to click turn left for 90 degrees. So I'm going to put in right, I'm going to switch it over to the left, and we're going to check this one out and see if it actually does what it's supposed to do. I don't know, let's try it and hit play. All right, so drive, 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 drive. It does its regular scooting. And now once it reaches the top, it's going to make a choice. It's going to create a random number between 1 and 10. And if it's less than 10, it's going to go to the left. If it's greater than 10, it's going to go to the right. This one decided to go to the right. Okay. Then this time it goes to the right. We'll see if it actually does ever turn left. So it looks like we got lucky and it went right twice. If it moves left down here, that would be fantastic. We would have kind of gotten lucky on that sense. Let's see what happens down here. And hey, there we go. It moves to the left. Now we can actually get it to move this direction. Whether it moves right or left in this case is left up to kind of chance. So we'll see whether or not it moves right or left down here. If it moves left, then it's going to see it again and be like, all right, then I'm going to move back. And it's going to be moving back completely towards the other side of the field. Now, if you don't want it to make these square motions, what we could do is we could change the degrees, and instead of being right on 90 degrees, we could change that to, say, 80 degrees. So watch what happens whenever we change these parameters around. If we say stop driving and then turn right for 80 degrees instead, then it makes its motion, but that motion isn't going to be completely and totally at a right angle. So it's going to kind of move around, and it gives you the ability to kind of roam to the left or to the right. So we'll see what happens here. We're going to click on that, and then it moves. And it doesn't move like exactly as far as you would have wanted it to. Because of this, you can get some kind of like bumps up against the wall. But at the same time, you can also get it to roam around in different areas as well too. So 80 degrees is really close to 90 degrees. So if you do it that way, you're going to get a lot of kind of what I call scooting. It's going to scoot along the wall an awful lot whenever it does this. So we could change that by just making the angle 45 degrees instead of 80 degrees. I'm going to change that. Let's just change this to 45 degrees, and I'll show you what the difference this makes whenever you change it. We're going to only move a certain value. Let's see here. I hope that changed the code. I didn't actually change its position, but I hope that changed the code. So what it's going to do is it's going to move, and then whenever it makes it up here, it's only going to move 45 degrees, and then it's going to keep going. And, well, there we go. I was about to say, what a big lot of difference that makes. Still kind of scooting along the wall. So, but at least it turns, and at least it turns left. So there's a couple of different parameters that we can change and try to play around with and see if we can actually get it to move in a particular location in order to get it to actually go into those bins up at the top. Now, see if it turns left up here, it can go into those bins up at the top. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll play around with it a little bit, play around with these parameters, and see if you can actually get it to go up into it. Another thing that you can also change is you can change the distance to wherever it hits the wall. 50 is kind of a really close number, so you can also change that one around too. Anyway, play around with these numbers and see if you can actually get this thing to move up and around inside all three areas. So we've got the blue and the green. See if you can get it to move up inside the red area too. So have a great day. See what you can come up with, and I'll talk at you later.